Okay, video 2 is about Lynn Donovan. Um, Lynn Donovan came to St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church in Prince Edward County in, I think, 2007. She was a social justice minister, so I was quite excited for her arrival because I was blowing the whistle on child rapes. So I thought, how fitting, a social justice minister is coming to my church. She's gonna totally help me blow this open. But instead, I experienced extreme oppression, and then uh, it was just one thing after another. The woman is literally cruel. She's a hard woman to describe, but if you're doing something she doesn't agree with, well, you find out just how strong of a woman she is. So she came to the church, and ever since, it's never been the church since. She pulled out all the pews and made it more of a social hall in the um, sanctuary. There's tables and chairs, and you can sit around like you're at a bar. In fact, they have whiskey tasting events in there sometimes, and art hangs on the walls that you can purchase. So it's just quite a unique sanctuary now. They rent it out to make extra funds and whatnot too. Um, so, anyways, she evidently grew up on at residential schools. Her dad was a minister at residential schools out west. So, I mean, that tells me a lot too. But when I went on to push this advocacy for kids that were being raped in care, she ended up she kicked me right out of a church service. I took her to the Human Rights Tribunal, even though I don't believe in our courts or tribunals. It's an avenue of public exposure, so I took her through that, and they ended up putting evidence in that said I was dangerous and threatening because I'm a social justice advocate and that I'm exposing, certain things within the CAS and whatnot. So that was put in as evidence that I'm threatening. So, anyways, HRTO rushed a summary hearing, and they quickly disposed of the matter, just as the respondent's lawyer had requested. So, I seen a whole lot of strange, communications between the defense, the respondent's lawyer and the HRTO. So I called them out on it. I sent a notice of corrupted proceedings saying the um, respondent was committing perjury and whatnot, and that wasn't even responded to. We just moved on to the summary hearing, and the issue is thrown out. You're not supposed to record the hearings, but well, I was really in poverty because of all the oppression, so I signed a third party agreement that I would be recorded if I used a third party telephone. So that third party did record the hearing. I didn't, but it is recorded, and it's pretty telling how I wasn't really allowed to have a voice in the hearing, and it was just directed by the adjudicator, and the matter was quickly disposed of. So, anyways, through that process, evidence was submitted that the session and the presbytery at the church were setting me up for false charges with the local police department. So it's just more like that was stuff I didn't even know was going on top of all the regular oppression. So there they were setting me up for false charges, calling me threatening and dangerous and hostile and security Brenda Everall, and all this stuff surfaced in the notes that they submitted for evidence. So it was quite telling that they were actively pursuing to have me arrested or taken out of the picture somehow. So through that, I mean, the oppression's terrible through there because I used to work at the church, that church, the St. Andrews, and I was secretary. I was Sunday school superintendent. I was on the board of managers. Like, I was active in so many areas in that church until, and I got along great with the old minister and the interim minister, and then this one came along, and all of a sudden I'm hostile and threatening. Excuse the flies, I got the window open here. So anyways, and I can't afford screens because I'm so poverty stricken because of all these assholes. So anyways, Lynn Donovan is tightly connected with a lot of people in this community. She has a circle of friends. Um, it was through a tagline in one of her emails. She said, "Blessed be the ties that bind." So I started searching that kind of thing. I felt like it was some kind of secret talk, or so. Then I found a thesis called "The Ties That Bind," and it was a micro study of this town by the Freemasons. So then I just started understanding that she was part of the Masonic Circle, especially with the Reaching for Rainbows program that she was launching with the CAS. So for at-risk females only, which I take issue with. We should not be responding to just one gender. Like, boys need services too, and just, it's an imbalance. So anyways, I don't even understand how it's being funded, because the ministry plays a role in it, and a lot of it's through donations and whatnot, but like, just to support one gender as we're all striving for equality is kind of unbalanced to me. But anyways, that's all part of a bigger agenda that hopefully you'll learn about or already know about. So I guess that's it for Lynn. Just, she's a minister and she looks nice and helpful and social justice oriented, but from my perspective, she's only interested in social justice arenas that she's interested in, and she's not a nice woman. She said so many horrible, terrible things that aren't in line with Christianity whatsoever. So, I don't know. I guess I'll just go down and walk on her labyrinth there at the church and contemplate until it all makes sense. But I think I do have Lynn Donovan's number, and I think that they don't want me to have a platform to speak out any further in this town.